getting to the age of sort of 15, 16, you know, finishing GCSEs, I didn't have that much, I suppose, direction. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure what direction to take. Went into a bit of minor drug use, cannabis, this type of thing. Maybe not perhaps making the correct choices all the time as a teenage boy does. When I was in my second year at university, there was a kind of a big moment in my life which involved my dad being involved in a glider plane crash. So his biggest passion was flying planes, flying glider planes. And when I was in my second year at university, he had this accident where he went away on a flying holiday and crashed. It was a really big moment in my life because I got this huge kind of sinking feeling and realising I can't get this relationship back now. And remembering actually we've fought a lot, we've argued a lot, and now this has happened. And it chucked me deep into depression. And exercise was kind of my coping mechanism to this long term. I then made a decision that I wanted to become a teacher. So kind of exercise had helped me kind of overcome this big incident. And I got onto the training course. I was a couple of months in, and I had this moment on a netball court. And this time there was a difference though. There was no drug use, there was lack of sleep, there was not wanting to go out, there was not eating properly. And I was eating, but I was mainly eating chocolate biscuits, which we all know is not what we should be eating all the time. And so I wasn't looking after my own health, my own well-being. That started to affect how positively I felt about what I was doing. And I made this huge decision to quit the course. And I remember my mum at the time, I don't think she was particularly happy. What do I do next? What decisions do I make? And I spent a couple of weeks sorting myself out. One day I picked up a skipping rope and I took the skipping rope down to the gym and I'd put music onto my headphones, the music that I like listening to, you know, bass music, high tempo, drum and bass music. And I started to turn the skipping rope in time with it. And using music that I enjoyed listening to, I found that really therapeutic. And my skills were very, very limited to start with. I tripped on the rope a lot, made a lot of mistakes, but I began to enjoy the feeling of it. 2013, so I was in the training gym and I'd left the gym on my bicycle and I'm cycling through the town centre of Bedford, road called Golden Road, and I was hit by a car and I'd torn all the cartilage in the left knee. I had to have surgery on it, on the knee. And the surgeon actually told me I won't jump again. He said, no, you can't skip. You won't be able to do that. I just remember thinking, I don't believe him. Within 7 or 8 weeks, I was jumping again. I was back. Behind the scenes, something else that I was doing is I was contacting all of the DJs who were producing the music that I was skipping to. So I was creating mini videos using just my iPhone, using YouTube, using social medias. And I was creating these mini clips of me skipping in time to their songs and sending to them on Twitter. And then I created a ninja character where I was dressed up as an ultraviolet ninja with ultraviolet rope. So I created this imagery and I remember thinking, this is a business. Made a massive decision, another huge decision to leave the job that I was in. I suppose rash decision to leave a job to try and become a full-time skipper and create a business around making right choices and delivering these exercise behaviour projects. And I remember people saying to me, don't do that, stay safe. I began to reach out to people I knew that worked in education. I actually started to offer me to come to schools for free to get my foot into the door, number one, maybe show the children and students and staff something a little bit different. And my first school, one of the schools in Bedford, I actually just turned up at the school. I was skipping on the playground and funnily enough, I got one of the students there to beatbox for me, who was a beatboxer at the school, and I was skipping in time to his beat of his beatbox. And it kind of helped me kind of raise the awareness of me maybe coming into that school, and the senior leadership team seeing, well, he's grabbed the attention of all of our students by doing this. At the time I had a little trailer on the back of a bicycle, and I had some cones in there, some skipping ropes and a sound system, a few boxing pads, and I decided, right, this is going to be the bit of kit I use to deliver my behaviour workshops and anything to do with the skipping ideas. And I started to then approach other schools and say, this is the service I'm offering. You know, there's this behaviour project over here, and there's me coming in and talking about how skipping, it can support your well-being and exercise itself and your mental health and your physical health, and to show them my journey and my story in a kind of reduced version for young people. You know, to show them actually you're going to stumble across these problems. You might find yourself at a crossroads where you've got to make this decision or this decision. So I started to actually sell that to the school and say, there's a message here. Yes, there's me skipping to the music over here, and there's some lessons about children's behaviour, making the right choices, but actually we're going to show children this journey, and actually this is out there in the world. You know, there's no point hiding away from it. The journey I've been on in the last 7-8 years, and pre that as a teenager, almost every teenager's going to go through something like that, or they're going to stumble across a problem where they're going to have to make a decision, or they're going to have to think, actually, is what I'm doing in my life helping me or not helping me? In 2017, I decided to attempt my first ever world record with the skipping rope. So 2017, April, it was National Skipping Day. I ended up recording a new world record of 110 crossovers in 60 seconds. And I saw some people trying to attempt the record, or some people saying, the world record for most crossovers is 110, I'm going to beat it. And I remember looking at it thinking, I'm going to have to put the score up. And I put myself back into training. So we're into lockdown, schools have shut, we're thinking about how do we develop, how do we continue the various projects, delivering lessons online, these kind of things. I decided, well, I've got the time, you know, I can't really work too much at the moment, so I was essentially training for a world record through the whole of lockdown, and suddenly finding out that another skipper had broken my world record for the most crossovers in 60 seconds. So I found out that he had recorded 126, which amazing score. He actually messaged me saying, I know who you are. And he messaged me saying, you inspired me to attempt these world records. And he's 21, and I'm going to be 35 this year. And so it was a real honour to get a message from someone on the other side of the world who had seen me break these records. So I kind of went down this pathway of loosely talking about maybe attempting it again, knowing that I may well do it in 3 or 4 weeks. But also talking to him and thinking maybe we do a head-to-head skip-off sometime, maybe in India, maybe film some amazing content, maybe climb up another mountain and skip at the top, something like that. So I went at the record again, live in a lesson, got the kids warmed up, me attempting the world record in 60 seconds, the kids get to skip along to it, and on the day we did it 12th of August, and I equalled the world record with a score of 126. Now the adjudicators were a little bit unsure whether it was 127, so was it a new world record? Initially it was announced as a new world record of 127. So I'm there in the lesson excited thinking I've done it. You know, then there was some time for them to check slow motion footage. Having checking the slow motion footage, it was an equalled world record. So I equalled the current world record held by the skipper from India with a score of 126. Then I made 3 or 4 other attempts after that, went a little bit quicker just to try and get those extra couple of jumps, and I made a mistake on all 4 of those attempts. So a week later, attempted the world record again, recorded a new world record of 129 crossovers in 60 seconds, making me the new current world record holder, beating the skipper from India. Hopefully as well, setting up a massive head-to-head skip-off in India in 2021. So in terms of the future, now I've kind of got the record back, I'm double world record holder again, I'm looking to 2021. There might be a chance I attempt a couple more records between now and then. I would say as 100% that skipping has saved my life. You know, exercise on a couple of occasions pulled me out of some difficult situations, whether it was drug use or depression. But then the actual skipping, when I found that, it supported me in never reverting back to the old lifestyle. My life may well have been very, very different if I hadn't have made some different choices, which is why I'm keen, very much so, to show the story to as many children, young people and adults as possible, and hopefully they find the thing that they focus on that keeps them moving forward.